Hi, ladies. Hello. Hi. Okay. So just keep letting people in. Happy Wednesday. So today is the day before the new moon in Aries. We have a lot of big energy, big energy coming in. So what I would like to do tonight is I want to talk about a couple of different aspects of this moon tomorrow. And I want to do a collective card reading with one of my favorite cards, card decks. It's my chakra card, my wisdom cards. This is just what I've been feeling pulled to do today. And the reading that I want to do with you guys is actually for removing blocks, for removing any blocks, because I have been feeling some sort of way collectively about not just Ambitious Academy, but just people in general. Like, people are really doing the least. And what I mean by that is they really truly don't believe that they deserve what is their birthright. And I feel like we can say all of these manifestation things all day, right? We can say our ambitious abundance affirmation in the morning and in the afternoon and at night. We can do all these different things, but at the end of the day, a lot of you don't really truly believe that you can do it. And you don't really truly believe that you are worthy of having these things, because everyone here, no matter where you came from, no matter how you were raised, no matter what has happened to you in your life, deserves the most. Okay. God didn't create all of us and then say, oh, Tiffany over here deserves to be a broke ass hoe, but everyone else deserves to be wealthy and healthy and happy. Okay. Everyone deserves to be wealthy and healthy and happy and joyful and have the life of their dreams. Everyone. So I want to really talk about manifestation. And because the new moon in Aries is such huge energy, we're going to do some manifestation work tonight. Okay. As you guys pop on, if you can just say that you're here. And if what I'm saying to you right now is resonating with you, like, let me know, because I channeled this earlier in the day today about just the unworthiness, the sheer unworthiness that I see in so many people. Like, I feel like so many of us, including myself, I am not saying that I am above anyone here, but I feel like, for example, sometimes in the morning, like, I'm saying my ambitious abundance affirmation and I'm saying it, and like, there's this little voice in the back of my head that's like laughing at me. It's like, oh my God, what are you even doing? Shut up. You will never do this. And you know me, I'm like, shut the fuck up to it, right? I have to like get kind of like crunk with that voice. But it's true. If we truly do not believe that we can have all these things and live these incredible 1% lives, we're never, ever in a million years going to do it. And if we make excuses on why we can't do it, we're going to be even deeper in the shit pit. And, there's that old adage that says, I'll believe it when I see it. But we have to flip that and say, I'll see it when I believe it. Okay. And if you can do that, like, it's going to change your life. Hey, Shannon saying, oh, huge resonation. Yes, girl, preach. Kelly saying, feeling this. Jess is saying, I have really been working on that. And that's one of the first things in the abundance affirmation. I am worthy because I am. Absolutely, babe. Jessica's saying, yes, feeling down lately and burned out. I feel that too. And Jess Kaplan, not Jessica Cole, but Jess Kaplan is saying, I really do believe, but I have to keep beating down the doubts because they are sneaky mofos that keep popping up, right? As Florence Scovel Shin calls it, the army of the aliens, right? It's the enemy energy that every time that you start doing your manifestation work that comes in and it's like, You're making $40,000 a year. You really think you're going to be making $300,000 a year? It's like, yes, anything is possible. And if it's been done before, it can be done again. Right? Yeah, Jess, hit them like whack-a-mole. My least favorite carnival game, because it's just so annoying, right? So let's talk about the energies that are coming in with this new moon. So number one is this Aries new moon that's happening tomorrow is really truly calling us to move forward in all aspects of our life. So no more excuses. And to have something that you've never had before, you have to be someone you've never been before. And to experience things that you've never experienced before, you have to do things that you've never done before. So the same fuck me pumps, right? Remember that song, Fuck Me Pumps, from what's her friggin' name? I mean, going to rehab. I said, no, what the fuck is her name? I'm literally having a senior moment. Y'all know. Someone tell me that bitch's name. What is it? Amy Winehouse. Remember she used to sing that song about the fuck me pumps? Like, your old tricks don't work anymore. Your old tricks ain't working no more. And you're trying to use the old tricks to create the new life, and it's not working. So the new moon tomorrow is going to be like next fucking level, like stepping into and propelling yourself in all aspects of your life, right? Like in Ambitious, I call it the 6 life makers and breakers. So what are we doing with our spiritual work? What are we doing with our relationships? Who are we spending our time with? Like, is it really, worthy of who we are, right? Where's our money mindset at? Where is our environment, like our home? All the things I talk about in Ambitious, okay? Like, where are we at? So even if you right now have your notebook out, or if you watch this later and you don't have a notebook right now because you're driving or whatever, but even if you take your notebook out and you write down the 6 life makers and breakers, right? And then you write where you're at, okay? You write where you're at in each one. So like, grade yourself. Are you a 1 or are you a 10 in relationship? Are you a 1 or are you a 10 in spirituality? Or are you a 5, right? And then, like, let's just say, for example, in spirituality, let's just say you're a 5. Okay, well, how do you get to be a 10? And name all the things that you're not doing that are keeping you at that 5, right? And how can you get better? So let's kind of go through that a little bit today too. Kayla says, I was manifesting queen before COVID times. I know what I need to do to manifest, but I felt beat down. I decided a few days ago to stop making excuses and definitely feeling this energy, right? Like, I hate to say like fake it till you make it, but sometimes like you just have to be like, you know what? I don't want to go post on social media. I don't want to do the thing. Or I don't want to go hang out with my friends. I'd rather just watch Netflix and like binge eat, whatever your thing is. But you know that like, if you go out with your friends, you're going to have so much fun. You're going to have better relationships, closer relationships, right? So again, the Aries new moon is all about propelling yourself and springing forward, right? Because we're entering Ostara, we're entering the springtime right now. All the little buds are starting to bud on the trees, and all the little tulips in my front yard are starting to come up through the earth. And we, just like that, are being reborn. So it's time to harness that energy. The other thing is, we have to force ourselves, and I hate to use that word because it has can have like a negative connotation, but we have to really force ourselves to really start making moves. Because I feel like so many of us right now are so complacent in so many different facets and areas of our lives. And I'm just here to say, like, aren't you sick of yourself yet? Like, aren't you so fucking sick and so tired of saying the same things over and over again? Like, I'm going to release those 20 pounds. I'm going to get better physically. I'm going to get the car of my dreams. I'm going to find the man of my dreams or the relationship of my dreams. I'm going to get out of this shithole apartment and I'm going to go buy the home of my dreams. I'm going to step forward into my business for once and for all and stop making excuses. Like, does anyone here, or is it just me, just get sick of hearing themselves fucking talk, right? Like, shut the fuck up. I'm not saying that to y'all. I'm saying that to myself too. Like, if you are sick of hearing yourself talk, it's time to step out of the hypnotic rhythm and realize that no one is coming to save you. Like, y'all, you guys, I am your coach. I am your mentor. I am your leader, but I cannot put your arms on a string and be like, I'm a real boy. Like, I'm never going to do that to you. Like, this is not The Sound of Music, yodelay, 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 hee hoo. I'm not ever going to puppet you. No one's coming to save you. God gives you free will. And God puts the right people in your life and the right tools in your life and the right experiences and meetings. And y'all are waiting for signier signs. You're all waiting for signier signs. And the signs aren't going to get signier than they already are. Right? I saw that Sandra had asked, she saw like an X. I hadn't been able to talk about it yet because I've been working all day, but I saw briefly that she had said like, this X in the sky, like, is this a sign? And it's like, yes, bitch, it's a sign. It's a sign. And what do you think the sign is? Because you don't need Katie Boyd to tell you what the sign is. The sign in your mind is always the first thing that pops up in your head. And it's never bad. It's always good. Okay? Because the world is not going to the devil. The world is going to God. So if you see an X in the sky and you were like, okay, what's that X mean? Oh God, this could be a bad thing. No, it could be like, hey, stop thinking about the thing that you're thinking about because you're better than that. I don't know what you were thinking about that time, but it happens to me all the time. And I'm like, oh my God, what does this sign mean? And I'm like, no, I don't need to ask anybody. I don't need to ask my shaman or my this person or my that person. Like, I already know inside of myself what it means, right? Kayla says, yep, I am so sick of my own shit, making so many moves now. And sometimes it's just about doing like the little things, like, because all day long, if you do like little things, it leads to the big things. People will always say to me like, well, it's easy for you, Katie, because you're like, living your best life. And I'm like, yeah, but it took me 20 something years of hardcore work to get to the place I'm at now. And I think so many of us are waiting for that instant gratification, and it's not going to come. You have to do the work, right? So this is a really great time right now to make any really big decisions on love, relationships, and money. So love, relationships, and money. And this is also a time to do deep, deep, deep healing work. So if you're like, oh, I really want to do an emotion code with Jen, or I really want to hire Katie to do a healing session, or I really want to go see my shaman or whoever you work with, I don't care. This is the time to do it. Because healing doesn't have to be a lonely thing. I think so many of us feel like really alone sometimes, like this healing work is so lonely. It's such a hard road, but there's people out there that will help you in this work. I love that, Aubrey. Small hinges swing big doors. And that's very, 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 very true. Sandra says, I know I am, because I'm so stuck in grief. I have to keep busy so I don't stop and think. And that's the worst thing you can do, right? It's always the opposite, because if we keep pushing down grief and we keep keeping ourselves busy, you're going to have to deal with that grief sooner or later. And I believe that when you push down grief, it actually will manifest in metaphysical anatomy problems, which will be like sickness, illness, disease down the road. So you don't want to do that. This is the time to like really do the healing work. So whether that is, having a multi-dimensional healing session with me, or doing something like with Jen Bradford with Emotion Code, or doing a Reiki session, or, calling your therapist or your psychiatrist or your whoever you work with, this is the time to do it, to really step into that energy. Sandra says, I was doing shadow work at the time, so I guess it meant that I'm at a crossroad and I need to let go and let God and heal myself. Absolutely. And remember, healing is an unfolding journey. And once you think you're healed, what happens? Like Kayla was saying before, like the whack-a-mole, it just comes up and it's like, hi, Then it's like, hi. You ever see that reel like on Instagram? It's like all the different voices. It's like, yeah, because that's what healing looks like. And every time you think that you're healed, the next little thing pops up and you're like, oh shit. Brittany says, I always wanted instant gratification, which is why I always had such a hard time following through. And one of my biggest takeaways so far through Ambitious Academy is that I use my small steps as instant gratification when I conquered a small thing I hadn't done or wanted to do the day before. And I'm getting so much better at being consistent by doing this. I love that. And I'm so freaking proud. That's awesome. That's awesome. And that's what Ambitious Academy is all about, right? This is a forever learning. Another aspect of this Aries new moon is taking immediate action. And I love that Brittany just said that because it was kind of in the same vein that I'm saying, taking immediate action. So, for example, if you're trying to get in shape and you go to the gym one day, and you just keep looking down at yourself, at your stomach, like, where the fuck is my six pack? It doesn't happen that way, right? It's every day you do your workout and every day you get better. And then one day you wake up and you look at yourself and you're like, holy shit. It's the same with everything you do. It's the same with your relationships. It's the same with your spiritual journey. It's the same with your healing journey. It's the same with your money journey. It's a little bit every day. What's been helping me, and I've been doing this for a really long time, but what's been helping me is every day I have my little sticky note and I write down at the top the most important things in my life that I desire to achieve. And you would think that they were like, make all this money, do all these things. No, it's literally like 1 hour of cardio, meditate for 20 minutes, do my breath work, say my ambitious abundance affirmation, bless myself, 30 minutes of yoga. And if I can get all those things done, I'm going to feel so proud of myself. And anything else that I accomplish on this list is just gravy. And when you make time for yourself and you make yourself your most important aspect, all of a sudden there's all this other extra energy for all of the things that are going to make you happy. They're going to make you have joy. They're going to make you have fulfilling relationships. They're going to make you richer. Right? It's all about the little things, guys. So taking immediate action. Don't wait. Don't wait for the right time. Don't wait for the wind to blow your asshole hair to the north and then to the left. No, do the damn work instantly. Could you imagine if all day long you just made quick little decisions that just kept leading you and leading you and leading you down that path? Like, how amazing would that be? Right, Kayla? 100%. Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. If you guys haven't read that book, it's an amazing book. Mel Robbins is the bomb. And it's such an easy concept, right? Don't wait. Just go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and do the thing. Just make it happen. I mean, there's things that all day long I don't want to do. There's things all fucking day long I don't want to do. But the people who have excellent lives are the ones that do all the shit that they don't want to do all day long. Like I always say, and people like think I'm conceited when I say this, but I'm not being conceited. I just know that I'm really successful. And I just say, like, everyone wants to be Katie Boyd until it's time to do what Katie Boyd has to do all day. And I think people think that I'm just sitting in my house, like in my muumuu, smoking Marlboro Lights, watching Ellen, eating frickin' Haagen-Dazs. Sounds delightful, by the way, but I'm not. From the moment I get up in the morning to the moment that my head hits that pillow, I am doing things to better myself, to serve my clients, to give more value, to show up, to do the things, right? Like, people will come to me and say, I want to start a podcast. I'm like, do you really want to start a podcast, or do you just think it's cute? Because it's a pain in the motherfucking ass. The amount of research that I have to do, the amount of writing that I have to do, all the money and time and effort spent on podcasting. Same thing with coaching, right, Jess? People have no idea. Like Jess's YouTube, so much work goes into Jess's YouTube. And people just go, oh, it's so cute, Jess's YouTube. Look at her little YouTube. It's like, no, bitch, this is not a little YouTube. This is a big fucking YouTube. And if you know how much work this is to film, to light, to edit, to, and people want to do all the cute things, but they don't realize how much work that goes into it. So to live a 1% life, you have to act like a 1% person. And that is with all aspects. Okay. So what I want to do now is I want to pull 4 cards. Okay. I want to pull 4 cards, and I want these cards to be a collective reading, because remember, all of us here are connected through space and time. All right. So everyone here, we're like a bunch of trees in the forest where our roots are all connecting. And we're all speaking to each other energetically. So this is going to resonate with everyone here. Okay. These are my favorite cards. I love these cards so much. And I'm going to do a 4-card pull. And we're going to talk about blocks. This is going to be all about unblocking your stuff, so that when you do the work starting tomorrow for the new moon in Aries, you can start manifesting quicker. Okay. So I'm just going to knock the old energy out of the cards. I'm just going to ask for a collective reading for the group. Okay. Card number 1. Card number 2. Card number 3. I'm going to explain what each one means in a second. Card number 4. Okay. Okay. So the first card in this pull is what collectively we actually perceive to be the problem. Okay. And the card number 1 is guilt. Guilt. And the guilt card is in the sacral chakra, because see how it's orange? So all the cards here are, they're specific to the colors of the chakras. Okay. So let's go to the guilt card. Now, remember, the guilt card is what we collectively perceive to be the problem. Okay. So the overall impressions of the orange cards in this deck are all from emotion, right? Because it's your sacral chakra. And the manifesting intentions of this card are: the orange cards represent our emotions and how we relate to them. In the second chakra, you can learn emotional discipline if you choose. You must master the skill of steering your emotions as you would a ship on the high seas. This is very important in manifesting. The orange cards reveal your emotional experience in a particular situation. If you're struggling with your feelings, look back to your red chakra, the root chakra, for the answer. Why? Because you source your emotional experience from a particular foundation or belief created in your root chakra. This helps you to understand where your emotions are coming from. Then next, observe your feelings rather than act on them, and your angels can speak directly to you through the emotions revealed in your cards. However, you must stand fearlessly and observe your emotions. And if you can do this, you have begun the journey into manifestation. You can walk the path you have previously only wished for. Master emotional discipline, and you master how you manifest anything. Okay, so remember, this is what we perceive to be the problem collectively. It's the guilt card. So the energy here is, this card indicates a deep caring and protection from emotional hurt through standing strong in your emotions. There is a great inner resolve here. And once your mind is made up, you can see when others have tried to manipulate you. Reclaim your life. Okay. I'm looking at everyone's faces right now, and I'm like, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. All right. So this is the energy of this card. Ready, guys? Do not do for others what they must do for themselves. Do not do for others what they must do for themselves. Speak the truth from your heart. Honesty is freedom. Any guilt is fear of being disliked. Okay, so here's the question. Let's have a conversation about this. Am I giving away too much time and energy and resenting it. So where here, guys, let's think about this for a second. Each one of us, feel free to type in the chat. Are you giving too much time and too much energy? Oh God, Kim is triggered. Kim is triggered. Are you giving away too much time and energy and resenting it? Is my anger really guilt? Is my anger really guilt? Are you guys feeling this right now? Where are you giving all your fucks? Where are you giving all your time? Where? Shots fired, Brittany says. Now, remember, this is what you perceive and we perceive to be the problem. So right now, a lot of people are like, oh my God, like I do all this shit for all these people and no one fucking appreciates me. And I go above and beyond and like people aren't even like giving me, I'm giving them 100 and they're not even giving me 30%, right? Kelly was saying that was always my thing, but I'm getting better with it. That's good. That's good. So Jess Kaplan saying at work. Yep, absolutely. Kayla says, I just cleared this emotion with Jen on Friday. I had taken for granted on in my coaching jobs. Yep. Absolutely. 100%. Definitely. So are you feeling burdened by obligations? Are you being an enabler? Are you enabling others' bad behavior? So think about this. Close your eyes for a second. And imagine chains holding your body down. So you're just covered in chains and your whole body is being held down. And as you relax, the links of these chains weaken one by one. In your mind's eye, see and hear each link of those chains fall to the ground. With each thud, see a chunk of fear or guilt falling away. And when you get free from those chains, in your mind's eye, get up and walk into a glowing orange light. And once you walk into that glowing orange light, what happens then? What happens then? And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, and then I would love to hear what happens. Did anyone have any weird experience or like something that's like, wow, that was really jarring, or that I didn't expect that? Absolutely. You'll float too. Absolutely. You guys, it burned the shit out of my obligations. Because remember, Jacinta, that's you're a sick fuck. I love you. I love you. She was, all I could picture was Jason Voorhees. But who is Jason Voorhees? What's the metaphor for that, right? The word obligation actually has a victim energy, because when you say, well, I'm obligated to do that, you're doing it out of a fear of not being liked, of not being loved, or, like, I know Jess, and I know she's like, well, I don't want people to be like, oh, well, Jess doesn't do this, Jess doesn't do that. And it's not that she's not emancipated, but there's probably still, like me, there's that voice in the back of your head. It's like, oh, I'm going to let people down, or like da 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 da. And it's like, it's keeping you down. Aubrey said, the orange fog took me into the life I should be living. That's what I'm talking about. Kelly walked through the light and it was very cleansing. That makes me happy. And yeah, I love it. Okay, so remember, that card was what you guys all and I all collectively, that's what we perceive to be the problem, is that guilt, the obligation, right? The enabling energy. But the next card is actually what would create the breakthrough. What would create the breakthrough? Justin says, yes, I felt the weight lift and it felt so much better. Kayla says, these people need me to help them. I need to keep going for them, is what I used to think. Yep. Been there, done that. I did that for over a decade with all of my clients, for Miss America and Miss USA and Miss Universe. And my identity was that. Like, I didn't even know who I was without doing that work with these women. Okay, so here's the next card. Remember, this is what would actually create the breakthrough. Forgiveness. Forgiveness. Okay, let's see what this is all about. Now, remember, that is that's your third eye chakra, right? That's the purple. So remember, this is what would create the breakthrough. So let's talk about the purple cards. The overall impression of these cards is seeing the unseen. And the key words here are guidance, intuition, secrets, integrity, knowledge, spirituality, inner child, mystery, and dignity. The sixth chakra represents your sixth sense, and all the cards in the purple colorway, indigo and violet, appear in this chapter. The brow chakra, or the Ajna chakra, is the third eye and houses all that is hidden within, including our intuitive knowing. The cards often reveal family agreements made before you were born and karmic issues which you have brought into the world to work out. The sixth chakra reveals your intuitive focus and your inner knowing. And the cards in this chapter may reveal the behaviors you've either inherited or unknowingly chosen to copy from your family of origin. This reflects where you are in terms of your own awareness and reveals your willingness to do your own soul searching. Are you living in the past or are you living in the future? Faith is the unspoken element here, and all intentions are fulfilled with the help of spirit. So the forgiveness card, let's see what the energy of this card. This card protects us from toxic situations. This card indicates healing and allowing yourself to return to the natural state of peace once again. Remember, we never forgive others. We only forgive ourselves for loving others who have betrayed us. This is a time of personal evolution. Kim says, have been so living in the past lately. And usually when you're living in the past, that's when we can get depressed. So when we live in the future, usually it causes anxiety. When we live in the past, it's what causes depression. But when we live in the now, we can't have depression and we cannot have anxiety. So if you feel anxious or you feel depressed, or if you feel both, that means you're not being in the now. Right? So remember, this card is what will create the breakthrough. Let's go a little bit deeper with the forgiveness card. Okay. The forgiveness card is all about not harboring resentment. Who's feeling like resentful bitch right now? Because if you look at this card, why are you feeling resentful? This is the first card, right? The guilt card. Why are you feeling resentful? Because you're doing shit you don't have to do because you feel guilty. If I don't do it, who will do it? If I don't do it, no. So the card transcends forgiveness because the focus is on intention, not on pain. So the card also is about family healing. This is a time of family healing. Can I forgive myself for loving people who hurt me? Can I forgive myself for loving people who hurt me? Because don't we feel guilt? Right? We can keep going back to that card. What if it's part of your job? Resentment, you mean? Like the harboring of the resentment? Kim goes, sweet baby Jesus. The shit you have to do. I think that, yeah, and listen, right? We all have a shit sandwich. I always talk about the shit sandwich in work. Every time, I know, Jess. I feel you, girl. I feel you. I hate to say this, but like, I really just feel like people are very badly behaved right now. I feel like people are very badly behaved right now. I don't know if it's from the last 2 years of people's lives, like they've literally just like forgotten how to be a human being. And they also forget that we are also humans and that and I'm going to use the N word. Sometimes we just need someone to tell us, thank you. Tell us you are doing a good job. Tell us we will support you. Right. And that, right, Jess? And that's the other thing too, like, it's so funny. I'll give you an example. I have glasses to drive because I can't see far away, right? So at night I was like, and Matt's like, you need fucking glasses, bitch. And I'm like, no. And then I ended up getting them and I was like, oh, it's the best thing that ever happened. And then I have glasses for the computer that I don't need, but I like the blue blocker, right? I like to like have the, so it doesn't fuck with my brain. So I bought these new glasses. I went in for my glass check and I got these glasses, and for like 4 weeks I drove with these fucking glasses and they were horrible. I couldn't even see out of them. I'm like, am I like getting so old? Like I'm going blind. So I kept calling my eye doctor and they're like, Katie, that's the prescription. It's the prescription. It's the prescription. And I was like, I'm literally losing my mind. So I just walked in there the other day and they took my glasses and they were like, oh, these are the computer glasses. We just put them in the wrong. We gave you double computer glasses. So I've been driving with like no glasses at night, like this. Hello, ma'am. And I was so fucking mad because first of all, these people gaslit me, right, for like 4 weeks and like they're fine. But then like it was not even a big deal. Like they didn't even apologize to me for screwing my glasses up. And I was just like in the car, like crying. And I was like, what is wrong with me? And I was like, gonna get my period. So it like didn't help. But anyways, I was in the car and I was so angry and I was so resentful because I could never do that to you guys. I could never like not show up for something. I could never like go above and beyond in a healing session. Like, and not that you guys even expect that out of me, because I expect that out of myself. And I know you, Jess, and you like your expectations of your performance as a teacher is so high. And then I get so angry because I'm like, I have to show up and I have to do my ultimate 150 every time I do something. And everyone else can be, am I just like talking out of my ass right now? Or is everybody understanding what I'm like, are you guys feeling it too? Okay. Like, and then everybody else can just jerk themselves off in a corner all fucking day and like get paid and call and just like go home, jerk their husbands off, smoke their Marlboro Lights, drink their White Claws and live their best life. And I'm like, but I have to keep saying to myself, I do this because I have high standards for myself. And guess what? We cannot expect, and this is one of my biggest lessons I've learned throughout my spiritual journey, we cannot expect us from other people. We cannot expect us from other people. And I'm going to start like, maybe we should just start being like audacious bitches and just like tell people like, you know, a thank you would be nice. Like, what if we just step to like people? I don't know. I just feel, I'm feeling like real Katie, like pre-COVID bitch, like real mean Katie. And not that I'm going to be like that to people all the time, but like sometimes people just have to be told, like, you're not being a good friend. You're not helping me. You're not showing up for me the way I need you to. And like, I feel like instead of suffering in silence, we have to start like stepping up and telling people how we really feel. And I know that for a lot of you, including myself, that can be like really scary. So Jess, I feel you. Maybe we just got to start telling people like, hey, a thank you would be nice. Like, I don't know if that's like cool or not, but like Jen saying, and no one else is held accountable for anything. Always excuses, 100%. And it's so frustrating. So frustrating. Like for instance, like today I went and got, I had some doctor's appointments and stuff. And then I went to get my hair done. And the girl that I got my hair done with today, she does these really cool extensions. And I had texted her after and I was like, oh my God, that was like the best hair. Like it was like the best hair experience I've had in a long time. And I'm going to post tomorrow about you on my Instagram. I just have to go, I have to get back to work and I have to do things. And she was like, Katie, I would never expect you to post on Instagram for me. She goes, because literally like no one ever posts. And I was like, I am so grateful. Like I'm going to post about you. And I just feel like no one does that for anybody anymore. Like no one does that for anyone. And it's so, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but like on my Instagram, like I'm trying to like every time, like, you know, you guys share something that's really cool on Instagram. Like I'm trying to like every day share, like I shared Kayla's stuff. Like I've been sharing Aileen stuff. Like I'll share Jess's stuff. Like, I just feel like we all as women have to come together and help each other out. Like if we're starting a new endeavor, like support the person. You know, if someone is going through a hard time, like reach out to them and tell them that like you'll hold space for them, or that, isn't it nice sometimes just to hear like, I'm proud of you? Like, God, when was the last time someone told you well, I always tell you guys, but you know what I'm saying? Like, when was the last time someone just said like, wow, I'm really fucking proud of you? Like, my husband knows, like, I don't need diamonds. I don't need cars. I don't need bags. I just want him to say once in a while, like, wow, you're a really amazing wife. And I'm like, so proud of you. That to me is worth more than a fucking Bentley, a Python Chanel bag, whatever. I don't know if I'm the only one that likes, though. I like praise. That's like my love language. Oh, Jess, you are amazing at what you do, and you're an incredible teacher. And to anyone here who is in teaching that has kept up with this the last 2 years, like, you are the motherfucking MVPs of the world, legit. Because I would be living in a van down by the river. I'd be like, bye, I can't do this anymore. And it is exhausting, Jess. It is so exhausting. You know, Jess is an esthetician, and anyone that's in the service industry, like, we don't get like, people think because they pay you that that's thanks enough, but sometimes it would just be really nice to hear like, wow, that was like an amazing facial, like, and I'm going to post about you, and I'm going to like send all my friends to you. So many, I remember I had a girl that I coached for a really long time, and she was saying like that her gym had closed down during COVID. And I was like, that's so sad, like, to see a gym that's been open for 20 years closed down. And she said to me, you know, it was the best kept secret. And I said to her, well, bitch, maybe that's why it closed down. And she goes, you know, I never thought about that. She goes, I would never tell people to go to the gym because I wanted like the coaches and the trainers and shit all for myself. And I was like, yeah, now it's closed. Now you got to go to the YMCA, bitch. So, like, don't ever think that there's not enough to go around. Like, sometimes just like sending someone like word of mouth, being like, hey, this girl's an amazing hairstylist, or she's an amazing esthetician, or this woman is like an awesome divorce attorney, or whatever it is, like, or hey, go over to Jess Kaplan's YouTube and go check out her YouTube. Like, I don't think that we realize how much these little things help people so much in the long run. And karma is real, motherfuckers. Karma is real. So if you want to keep everything secret and not like speak victory into people, sometimes your gym closes down, you know, just happens. Jen says, oh, sorry, I already said, you know, no one fucking, they're absolutely, people suck. Not you guys. Yeah. But you know what though? People suck, but they don't even know that they suck, because they're around a bunch of other people that just suck all the time. And they're just so used to the suck energy that they're just like, yeah, this is normal. This is totally fucking normal. Right? Yeah. People not doing their jobs. It's like a real thing. And it's just so fucking annoying. But it's like, again, karma is real. So just know that, like, it's a universal law. Everything will work itself out in the end. Don't worry. Sarah says, I agree. People are crazy, lazy, and don't take responsibility for their actions. Been there, done that. Wear them for a few weeks to get used to them. Like, hell nah, right? No. And I never had glasses before. So I was like, well, maybe this is a thing. Fuckers. You know, people are self-centered assholes, but then like I look at all of you looking back at me, and I'm like, but there's a lot of good people in the world too. You just have to find your right tribe. That's why community is so important right now. Lizzie says, so right. No one needs to be responsible anymore, and no one is held to it. Yeah. No sense of urgency with anything. And they admit it as well. Drives me insane. You guys know, if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And if I don't do it, usually people will remind me like before it's even supposed to be done. And I always do it. I just, because I hold myself to a very high standard, and that's why I'm successful. And I just see so many people who are just like, they want to be successful, but they don't do the things, like they don't do the actions that back up what breeds success, you know? She says, I've told my principal before that I shouldn't work so hard so I don't get asked to do extra, but I really could never do that. No, I'm the same way. Marie says, oh no, totally feeling everything you're saying. I feel the same way too often. Jess says, because we are so consistent and so reliable that the expectation is there for us, even if it's not the same for them. Oh, yep. Aubrey says, sometimes the thank you is the band-aid for the lack of support. I choke on thank you and I appreciate you without changed behavior. Absolutely. In context of how hard I work to keep my boss's business running. Yep. Don't thank me. Give me a day off, motherfucker. Give me a raise. Kim says, I always yell, you're welcome, when people don't say thank you. And oh, I do too. I get crazy. Like if you let someone go Matt is like, you have fucking road rage. You need to check yourself. You know, when you're like, go ahead, you can go. And then they just look at you like you're a piece of shit. I'm like, you're welcome, you piece of shit. Matt's like, you need to take a Xanax and have a spiritual enema. I'm like, I know. Listen, you can take the girl out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the girl. Okay. Just as I know what you mean, Aubrey, but right now I've got crickets. So I would take a weak ass thank you. Just like a thank you. Just as too funny, Kim. I can do it to strangers with doors and all, but with people I know it's hard. And he says, I do feel that way. I've been holding back on saying my piece because I get myself in trouble. I don't want to be like, do your damn job. Sometimes you have to. Everyone is very self-serving. Again, I really think like it's people are in like this weird survival mode and they haven't been able to like get themselves out of it. It's kind of scary. But you know, when you watch like a show like The Walking Dead, I don't know if anybody ever watched Walking Dead, and you're like, how could that ever happen? How could people like turn on people so quickly? We just experienced like the last 2 years, people fighting over toilet paper and shit. Like, could you imagine if really push comes to shove and like we did have a zombie apocalypse, what would really happen? Girl, had your kids, had your wife. Okay. Christina says, oh, Christina 1.0 has been around all week. Good. I like Christina 1.0. Drama with my kids' school, and I know I've scared the shit out of a few bratty sixth graders. Sorry, not sorry. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Jen says, that's the hard part, Lindsay. I am holding back at work. It's driving me insane. Lots of deep breaths and reminding myself that it's not my burden to carry. You know, I always say like in my head, not my problem, not my problem, not my problem. Because mostly what people do to you, it's never about you. It's their own shit, right? Sandra says, the other day I went out to eat with a friend and we sat at the bar waiting for a table and ordered a bottle of wine. So the bartender brought it, opened, poured 2 glasses and then had the nerve to ask if we want to change. It would have been a $15 tip. Like, really? That's, oh man. I mean, I'm a big tipper, but like, don't assume, just give me my fucking change back. Maybe I wanted to give you $30 tip and you didn't give me my damn change back. Just as got to have the abundance mindset. There's enough for everyone. There is more than enough. Did you guys see the Science of Getting Rich, the Wallace Wattles thing that I had posted today? So I've been listening and reading that since I was probably like 18 years old. And Matt, like the other day was like, hey, have you ever read The Science of Getting Rich? And I was like, oh my God, Matt, get with the fucking program. Like, come to the new millennium. Like, where the fuck have you been all my life? Like, yeah, this shit's old school. And he like listens to it so much that he can like verbatim like say it back. But so many of the ways that we were taught is like there's not enough and like everyone's just going to do that. It's like that's not fucking true. There is more than enough to go around. Let me tell you something right now. If we wanted to solve world hunger today, we could do it. We don't want to do it. Okay. If you wanted to cure like almost all of the diseases in the world, we could do it. We don't want to do it. Okay. There's so much food in the world. It's just like no one should go hungry. No one, zero, but we don't want to do it. So we need to wake the fuck up and we need to realize that there's more than enough to go around. And when you really, truly believe that, you will have everything that you've ever needed, desired, and more. Jacinta says, I'm glad you're saying this. I really never thought of promoting these wonderful ladies on Instagram. Now I'll start doing that. It's just so, you guys, do you know what it feels like when someone shares, like for me, when someone shares my podcast and they say like, this podcast changed my life, or this podcast did this, or this podcast did this for me. Or when they say like, I'm doing it Ambitious Academy and it's literally like making me think outside the box, or I've doubled my income, or I'm doing like, I think that, and Kim and I have this conversation a lot because I think like people look at people like me and they're like, oh, Katie doesn't need that. We all do. We all need love and support, no matter where you are in your success journey. And I always share people's stuff because I'm like, if I can help someone with my following, and you never know, right? Like I could share like Kayla Crawford's mom, like her, because she has like her regular, right? Kayla, you have like your regular one and then you have like your inspirational one, right? Like I can share that reel And then like a friend of a friend of a friend could start on my thing and been like, oh my God, I want to hire that girl to come do a speaking engagement at my daughter's school. Like, you don't know. That is how God works. You know, they said like God works in mysterious ways. That's what they're saying. And when we are like, well, we don't want to share because there's not enough to go around, then that's why you're living in lack. That's why you're living in lack. Someone said to me a couple of weeks ago, like, wow, I can't believe you're sharing like the stuff with Jen Bradford's emotion code. Like, isn't it so similar to what you do with healing? I'm like, no, not even close. I don't even know what the fuck she's doing. She's doing some fucking hoodoo shit. And I'm like, good for you. I like it. I want Jen to make money. I want Jess to make money, Kaplan. I want all of you to live your best lives and make money. And if I can share something of yours, karmically, it's just going to come back to me. So like, I don't give a fuck. But if we're like, oh, I don't want to share the thing with Jen because like she might, have clients from my clients. Who gives a fuck? And that is honestly also a sister wound. It's also a sister wound because we don't want another woman to get too big for her britches. We don't want her to get no, stop. Okay. Now the next card, the third card is what actually is blocking you. So remember, the first one was what you perceived to be the problem. The second was what would actually create the breakthrough. But the third card is actually the real problem. You ready? Impartiality. Impartiality. Okay. Now this is crown chakra. So let's go. All right. In the seventh chakra, the crown chakra, we reach the place of universal consciousness, which is outside our physical body. You may notice that these cards represent some aspect of our collective being, our collective being. Let me let Kim Fox back in. The idea here is that we all vibrate through our seventh chakra in a powerful way that keeps us connected to humanity. The cards in the seventh chakra are neutral in color because spirit in essence is neutral. Here you will receive messages from spirit that are detached from human worry. These cards indicate the higher minded thinking that happens when we align with spirit. The power of holding space can also be seen in the still energy of each card. And here you will see how conscious choice can bring you spiritual magnetism. These are the cards of mastery. Okay. Oh my God. I'm literally, my nipples are so hard they could cut glass right now because just wait. Okay. Impartiality is the card, right? You all just heard what I just said about like sharing and lifting other women up and all this stuff, right? You ready? This is not a time to personally shine, but to allow others to come forth with their gifts, to speak victory into others, and you will find yourself in the role of the winner. Hold the space for others to find their own answers. Advice may not be well received, but be unbiased now. I mean, who am I? Who am I? Just a witch with a muumuu. Kim says, can I just say it? It blows my mind how little people share their work with Katie or offer testimonials when I ask. I don't know if it's because you don't want people to know you're working on yourself, but Google the law of reciprocity. Well, the funny part is that I'll never close down because I am not the best kept secret. But I think a lot of people have a hard time sharing when they're working on themselves and what they're doing, because it could be like maybe embarrassing, like to be like, oh, I'm fucked up and I have to work on myself, but everyone's fucked up and everyone should be working on themselves. So just saying. All right, let's see here. Here's the question. If I step back from my present situation, what do I see? If I step back from my present situation, what do I see? The energy of this card is also allowing things to unfold, uplifted communication, being neutral, and listening and observing. And also, like I said, not personally shining, but allowing other people to come in and shine and not feeling like you're getting the shit end of the stick if someone else right now may be doing a little bit more or having their moment in the spotlight and you maybe are not. But there's a time and a season for it all, right? Now, remember, that is actually what's going to be, that is actually what's blocking you. So you're trying to shine too much. You're not helping other people. You're not staying neutral. You're not letting things unfold. You're trying to shove the square peg in the round hole. You're trying to have instant gratification instead of doing the work. So those are the blocks. Now, the fourth card, the final card, is actually what you must do to create what you desire. So the last card here is the soulmate card. The soulmate card. And this is your root chakra. So let's see what this says. Okay. This card indicates changing old communication patterns and being open to new ways of interacting. You may no longer be able to have conversations that don't sustain who you are and your authenticity. Freedom lies ahead better than you can ever imagine. Okay. To enjoy the beauty of a rose, because there's a bunch of like rosy looking things in this little card. To enjoy the beauty of a rose, we must risk being pricked by our inner thorns. So what does that mean? If you really want to evolve and you really want to have all the things you desire, money, joy, wealth, fucking relationships, whatever, you have to go inside and do the gross work, the hard shit, the healing. And isn't this Aries new moon all about doing this healing work once and for all? Like really stepping into it? When you do this, you will have a new way to live. And the best incentive to change is to change through love. And the personal inquiry here is, what truth about myself am I embracing? And this also asks you, what lie are you currently living? So what lie are you telling yourself about your current situation that you know is a lie, that you know is keeping you small, that you know is keeping you from your highest, greatest good? What lie are you living right now? And the energy here is speaking your truth, choosing love always, freedom through transformation, resistance to commitment, an unexpected outcome, and new truths. So close your eyes and just take one deep breath. And just find yourself in your mind's eye. Find yourself in a safe place. It could be anywhere. It could be the beach, it could be the woods, it could be a childhood memory. And ask your power posse, ask your spirit guides to help you face the lie in which you're holding on to that's keeping you small. So whatever that is. And allow any nerves around it or any worry to pass. And as you come out of this, you now will know how to handle your present situation. And if not, the knowledge will come to you soon. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Does anybody want to share in the chat what came up for you? What lie that you're living? How you're holding yourself back? So are we saying, my lie is that I'm not ready, right? That's what we do. We say, oh, we're not ready yet. Got to take another course, got to get more education, right? Not true. Just saying what came to me was that I'm not good enough, which you know is not true, but that's a subconscious block, right? Somewhere in your life, someone told you you weren't good enough. Jessica's saying that I'm biting off more than I can chew. What's that old adage, like when people say, I don't bite off more than you can chew, and they say like, I'd rather choke on greatness like than be mediocre or something like that. I mean, I'm here for that. Fear that you'll fail, right? These are all true. These are all true feelings, but they're not true, right? They're lies that we're being told by the army of the aliens. Just as it says that I will never lose weight because I'm meant to be fat for life. Not true, right? But again, a lie that you're telling yourself because you have all the tools. Kelly is saying that I have imposter syndrome. Yep, a lot of people do. A lot of people do. Jen saying the fear of success, as you always remind us, right? Yeah. And a lot of people are fear. They say, "Oh, I'm afraid of failing." It's like, no, you're actually afraid of like a fear. This was my fear for years, that my family wouldn't love me anymore if I got too big. And I held myself back for so long. And then when I stopped giving a fuck, that's when the floodgates opened in my life and everything that I ever desired started coming. So think about everything I said today. Take the time tomorrow to do your new moon ritual. Sit down and go through all the 6 life makers and breakers and score yourself. And then write down what you can do to improve, to take yourself from a 5 to a 10, or a 4 to a 10, or a 6 to a 10, or even a 9 to a 10, because there's always room for improvement. And then set your intentions for the next 28 days of what you desire. I already did the work. This is my new moon stuff. I already did it because I knew that I wouldn't have time to do it tomorrow. Write it down. Write it down because it makes it real. Write it down because it makes it real. And then I always say, share it. So after you do it, come on the chat in Ambitious Academy and come on that chat and say, this is what I desire to accomplish in the next 28 days, and have us all, each one of us, share your stuff on Instagram, share your stuff on Facebook, make maybe connections for you that, because remember, like, everyone has something that someone else can use. So have us all support you and ask for that support. What could we do as a group or singularly to support you to reach these goals? Okay. And make them audacious. Make them audacious. Kim's asking Brittany, you designed that, Brittany. How does one begin her morning? What does she eat for lunch? What are her rituals? And begin showing like that every day. You guys, do you think it's like easy to do all of this shit every day? No, it's not fucking easy. And that's why 98%, if not more, of the human population are living in squalor, in depression, in like heartache, in poverty. But none of you deserve that. It's your thoughts that create your reality. So wherever you are right now, accept the fact that your thoughts, your words, and your actions have gotten you there. And just like they got you there, they can get you out of there. Okay? So let's keep this conversation going tomorrow on the app. I'm so excited. This is going to be such big energy with this Aries new moon. And let's step into our power. Come on, guys. We're already through Q1 of the year. Friday is Q2, is Q2 of the year. Can you imagine? And we have so much to accomplish. So let's do it together. Let's help each other out. Let's support each other. Let's share. Let's talk each other up. Let's send each other business, whatever. Let's hook each other up with hot men. If someone knows a hot piece of ass and someone's looking for a hot piece of ass, and you know the hot piece of ass, send the hot piece of ass over there. Stop being stingy with your hot ass. Oh my God, it's the second time I said stingy today. I said stingy today because I asked Matt for money for a tip. I just didn't have any cash on me. It's not that I'm a broke hoe. I just didn't have any cash. And Matt was like going in his wallet and he was like licking it. He was like, you know, you're like dad used to like take the $2 and see if they were stuck together. And I was like, fucking stingy prick. And he was like, I haven't heard the word stingy in like 30 years, Katie. I'm like, I'm bringing it back. So don't be stingy. Okay. With anything. Look at life and say, I am so abundant. I can share. I can send people. I can make the introductions. I can pay this. I can help this person. Let's step into that, all that abundance energy. Okay. Pinky swear. Pinky swear. All right. I love you guys. Have an amazing night. Happy new moon. And I will see you tomorrow on the app. Mwah.